TED Talks, brought to you by Erbs and Gerbs. Go online and check out their delightful sandwich menus and soups. Order yourself something today.
Ted Schwetzler back with another TED Talks Twins at TL Schwartz on Twitter from Twins Daily OffTheBaggy. The Twins wrap up a West Coast road trip on Thursday with a disappointing loss against the Mariners after beating Luis Castillo late Wednesday night. Unfortunately, they decide to go ahead and kind of come up short with Pablo Lopez on the mound. It was a tough start in that he often got behind and struggled to really dominate counts. Jorge Lopez came in later and really blew up again. It's been kind of a circus for him since he's come back off the injured list. Obviously, that was a trade where the Twins were grabbing a reliever at the peak of his value. He spent time on the mental health list or on the injured list for mental health this season. It hasn't been a good fit since he came over to Minnesota. He does have a child that deals with different things, so that's got to be weighing on his mind. But he just hasn't been able to be that back end of the bullpen piece that Minnesota was hoping for. However, the Twins do manage a split against the Mariners with the Athletics being swept prior to that. And yeah, this road trip was nothing to write home about. It wasn't exciting. The Athletics are arguably the worst team in baseball, and the Mariners are mediocre. Granted, the Twins have largely played mediocre to this part in the season as well, so handling business against a bad team like Oakland, as they've done with the Royals in the division, is a huge win. Getting those three victories and then also splitting with Seattle is a good look. Coming out of the West Coast swing, going 5-2 is a nice spot for the Twins to be in. Their lead against Cleveland is still relatively in hand in the AL Central. They come home and face a White Sox team that frankly is not very good, and they'll have to again show up for those 3 games to make sure that they can handle them and get that series in hand. But that's another series that they should win 2 out of 3 games and create some distance against Cleveland. The trade deadline is just over a week and a half or so away. Minnesota's in kind of a weird spot. They obviously don't need starting pitching. The starting rotation is one of the better units in baseball. There's obviously spots in the lineup where they could use help, but there's not a lot of places where they have openings. They're committed to young guys. They're committed to veterans. They just don't have a ton of openings in the lineup. The easiest path of addition for them would obviously be the bullpen, and there should be plenty of relief arms that could make a difference for Minnesota. That would also likely cost the least amount, which has to be somewhat intriguing for the front office. I don't think we're going to see a flurry of moves or anything super substantial for the Twins at the deadline. It would be awesome to see Paul Goldschmidt play first base or Nolan Arenado play third base or something like that, but it just doesn't seem in the cards. I think they add a reliever or 2 and maybe a lower impact right-handed outfield bat. But realistically, Rocco Baldelli needs to get the guys in the clubhouse that are already there and have been counted on all year going. Carlos Correa has been going well since being moved up to the leadoff spot about 2-3 weeks ago. And Edward Julian has been great since early June. I believe it was early June that he was recalled from AAA, and he's been a very good breath of fresh air for Minnesota. Obviously not a good defender, but as Jorge Polanco works his way back at AAA, Julian is gonna continue to find at bats and gonna continue to contribute to this lineup. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle this 13 games and 13-day stretch. But so far, so good. The 5-2 record works, and as we barrel towards the trade deadline, things will start to sort themselves out. We'll check in again next week.